Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. What do you? I mean, that matched the most points ever allowed by a Cavs team in regulation. What do you say to him after a game like that, or how do you digest everything that just happened?
We'll talk about it tomorrow when we show film.
You didn't say anything to him today?
No.
Is this the type of loss? I mean, it's a historic milestone type loss for all the wrong reasons. Is this the sort of thing that you think some sort of shakeup would follow in any regard?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. But, I mean, you look at the score, you score 124 points and lose by 24. That's tough to swallow. And I just thought they attacked us in every which way. I thought one-on-one defense, pick and roll, transition, they got whatever they wanted. And, we just got to be better, and starts from top to bottom. Everyone has to buy into what we're doing, and we just got to be better.
Joe Vartan, Cleveland.com. Ty, you've been, fairly positive and talking about being fine and staying the course and getting everybody back. And at some level, it's your job to say those things. But when you get beat like this over and over again, is that indicative that, in fact, things are not okay? Yeah,
it's tough. I mean, anytime you lose 3 games out of your last, or 5 or 6, by 30 points, it's not good. And like I said, we just got to continue to keep working. I thought the last 3 games we took a step forward, but obviously tonight, we took another step backward. So just got to keep going to the drawing board and, figure out, what we need to do to get better.
Scott Sargent, WFNY. Ty, Paul's going to get a lot of credit for the scoring. What did he do defensively on LeBron, specifically in the first half, that made things so much tougher on him than history would have led you to believe between the two of them?
I think he does a good job of trying to get into Bron and testing his handle. But, once LeBron gets by him, then he has Big Adams in the back line waiting on him. Or even when they post up, they do a good job of tilting and, trying to get the ball out of his hands when you try to play to the post on Paul George. But he does a good job of fighting over screens, getting into the ball. And, and he's a good defender.
Specific to Adams, obviously the first 90 seconds or so didn't go as you planned because you called that timeout, but what were they doing that you guys just couldn't seem to counter for, when he was having so much success as a role man?
I got to watch it. I think, to start the game, like you said, coming out, Kevin had 2 good shots and, he just couldn't make. And, he didn't have a lot of energy. We knew before the game he was sick and he was going to try to give it a go, but he couldn't get through it. So, with him on the floor, you got to spread him out. You can't let him, play in the paint, roam, and help defensively. And if he does, you got to have shooters around that, can make shots. So, he did a good job tonight. They crushed us on the glass, tonight. He's a big guy down there. He's a big load, and you saw that tonight.
David Brenneman, ESPN. Isaiah Thomas had one of his better games since coming back offensively. That was one, I guess, area where you guys were struggling and you took care of it. Then you guys had been playing really well in the first half of the last 3 games, but tonight got blitzed in the first half. Do you feel like as you identify or fix one problem, other problems are popping up?
Well, tonight it did. We've been struggling to score the basketball. And, like I said, tonight you shoot 52% from the field and score 124 points. And then defensively you give up 148 points. And, I mean, you're not going to be nobody in the world, give up 148 points. So, just got to do a better job and just, continue to try to, get better defensively. One-on-one, pick and roll and transition.
I have a quick follow on that. I recall in the 16 season when there were some defensive struggles, you stripped down the defense, told them very basic things to focus on every game, like 1 or 2 things, and it seemed to help. Can you go back to attack like that? Yeah, okay.
It's been basic. It's been basic, Dave.
Tom Withers, AP. Ty, you said before the game that you like this group. Do you feel like they're connecting with you and your staff still? Are they responding to what you want from them?
I think so. I think, at times matchup based, it's tough matchups a lot on the floor, but they respond. They're not giving up on us, and we're not giving up on them, so that's not a problem at all. That wouldn't be the case.
Ty, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. The other night you singled out the bench and how well they were playing, and tonight a couple of spurts that you had, it was the bench group leading that. Oklahoma City starters, conversely, scored 121 points. So are you at a point where you're contemplating lineup changes to shake things up?
Not yet. Like I said, I watched the film and just kind of see how things develop, but, not right now.
What didn't work well for the starters, beyond Kevin, exiting at the 3-minute mark? What didn't work well for your starters tonight?
I mean, we just had some tough matchups. I think Westbrook with, IT, being smaller and, being able to post up, push the ball in transition. Then you have Carmelo, who's a tough matchup. Then you have Paul George, who's a tough matchup. So, we're trying to show they did a good job of slipping out of the pick and rolls and throwing to Melo. He got open shots. Paul George got open shots. So, they have three guys that are dynamic offensively, and they put you in tough positions.
You've mentioned matchups a couple times tonight, and before the game again, you said that you like the guys that you have. But I mean, just to take a step back, who is responsible for this, or who is responsible for turning it around? Is this a coach's thing? Do your players have to play better? Do you need the front office?
We all have
help?
to be better. No, we all have to be better. We all have to do our jobs, which we've been doing. We have to be better. Players have to be better. Everyone has to be better. So it's not one person or, one section to blame. It's everybody, and we all have to be better.
Defensively, is it scheme or personnel?
We just got to be better, Jason. I think, it's tough for us one-on-one wise, guarding the ball, one-on-one defense. I think a lot of times with our closeouts, it's tough. You got guys closing out to guys who can shoot it and drive it, puts a lot of pressure on your defense. So we just got to, continue to keep working on and look at different things to make us better.